Welcome to Elohim Inspirational, where we bring the Bible to life, one story at a time. Today's story is one of passion, justice, and deep love for what is holy. It's a moment when Jesus got angry. Yes, you heard that right. But not the kind of anger we usually think of. This was righteous, purposeful, and unforgettable. So get comfortable, because we're diving into a powerful moment from the Gospel of John. Jesus cleanses the temple. Stick around till the end. You won't just learn what happened. You'll understand why it happened. And it might just change how you see Jesus forever. It was almost time for Passover, the biggest Jewish festival of the year. Think of it like a national holiday, spiritual retreat, and grand reunion all rolled into one. Every year, Jewish people from all over traveled to Jerusalem, to the magnificent temple, to worship, offer sacrifices, and remember how God rescued them from slavery in Egypt. Jesus, like any devout Jew, made the journey too. But this time, it wasn't just for celebration. He was on a mission. Let's pause and picture it. Jesus enters Jerusalem with his disciples. They've been traveling on foot. The sun is setting. The city's ancient stone walls glow in the golden light. But instead of rest, Jesus heads straight to the temple. And when he gets there, what he sees stops him in his tracks. The temple should have been a place of prayer, worship, and peace. Instead, it looked like a marketplace. Imagine this. Inside the courts of the temple, the holy place where people came to connect with God, there were money changers exchanging currencies and vendors selling animals for sacrifices. Sounds harmless? Not exactly. See, people came from faraway places, and they couldn't always bring animals for sacrifice. So buying animals near the temple became a convenience. And the money changers? They helped visitors exchange their currency into the temple coin. But over time, what began as helpful became corrupt. Prices were inflated, the poor were taken advantage of, worship became commercialized, and the heart of God's house was lost. To Jesus, this was more than noise and clutter. It was disrespect. It was a distortion of God's purpose. Now imagine this moment. Jesus, the quiet teacher, the healer of the sick, the one who welcomed children and dined with outcasts, now with a fire in his eyes. He doesn't yell empty threats. He takes action. He makes a whip out of cords. He drives out the animals. He flips over the tables of the money changers. Coins scatter across the floor. People scramble, chairs crash, feathers fly, and Jesus shouts, "Get these out of here! Stop turning my Father's house into a market!" Silence. No one expected this. This wasn't gentle Jesus, meek and mild. This was Jesus, Son of God, filled with zeal for his Father's house. The disciples stood in awe. They remembered a scripture from Psalms that said, "Zeal for your house will consume me." The temple leaders, they were furious. They demanded answers. "What sign can you show us to prove your authority to do all this?" Jesus replied, "Destroy this temple, and I will raise it again in 3 days." Wait, what? They thought he was talking about the physical temple. After all, it had taken 46 years to build. But Jesus was talking about himself. His body would become the new temple. And in just a few years it would be destroyed on a Roman cross. And 3 days later, he would rise again. At the time, no one understood what he meant. But later, after his resurrection, the disciples remembered this moment and everything clicked. Let's bring it home. What does this story mean for us? Here are some powerful truths. God cares about purity, not just rituals. Jesus wasn't impressed by outward religion. He wanted people to approach God with honest hearts, not wallets full of money. Worship should never be for profit. The temple became a business. Jesus cleared it out to remind us, God's presence isn't for sale. Jesus has the authority to clean house, just like he cleansed the temple. He wants to cleanse us, our hearts, our motives, our lives. Are there tables in your life that need to be overturned? Jesus is the new temple. We don't need a building to meet with God anymore. Through Jesus, we are the temple. His Spirit lives in us. Maybe you felt distant from God. Maybe your life feels cluttered with noise, distractions, stress. Jesus doesn't come to condemn. He comes to restore, to flip the tables, clear out the mess, and bring back peace. The story of Jesus cleansing the temple is more than a dramatic moment, it's a wake-up call. It shows us that worship isn't about rituals or buildings, it's about the heart. And when our hearts drift away, Jesus steps in, not to punish, but to purify. Thanks so much for joining us today on Elohim Inspirational. We hope this story brought clarity, challenge, and a deeper love for Jesus. If it did, we'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more powerful Bible stories told simply, visually, and from the heart. Until next time, stay blessed. And remember, God's house is your heart. Let Him make it holy.